We have reached the semi-final. This time the contestants were given a list of songs from the judges to choose from, with recommendations to each and every one. Can they thrive with more limited options than ever?
Well, I thought I knew you, thinking that you were true. Yes, I couldn't trust, cause your bluff time is up, cause I've had enough. You were there by my side, always down for the ride. But your righteous game's down in flames, cause your greed saw me out in shame. After all of this stealing and cheating, you probably think that I hold resentment for you. Oh no, you're wrong. Cause if it wasn't for all that you try to do, I would've known just how capable I am to pull through. So I wanna say thank you, cause it makes me that much stronger, makes me work a little bit harder, it makes me that much wiser. So thanks for making me lighter, made me learn a little bit faster, made my skin a little bit thicker, makes me that much smarter. So thanks for making me fighter.
Hey Meriam, how are you? First of all, I want to say that you are one of my favorite voices in the competition. You have so much power and soul, and it's just so inviting that I just get swept off my feet every time. With this song, Fighter, first of all, doing Christina Aguilera is hard. Trust me, I did it, and I can totally say you kicked my butt in that area. It's really difficult to pull her off, but you are one of the few people who I know can do it, and you definitely proved yourself here. My biggest pet peeve though is that I wish you sang like the full song. Like it ended kind of abruptly to me, and I was like, wait, this is the finale. I want to hear you serenade to me for like 4-ish minutes. You know, I was waiting for that, but it just kind of ended really fast, and I was like, wait, do I have the correct file? You know, I thought I got the wrong thing. But yeah, I wish you would have done more, because I want to hear more. I don't know if it was because of a time crunch or a confidence issue, because I know you were talking about how you weren't feeling that confident, which I think you absolutely should feel like you are a good singer, because trust me, you're a good singer, and I want to hear more of you. My other critique for you is that I wish you gave me a little bit more dynamics. When I listen to music, I like to feel things, I like to be like surprised, and one thing that I would suggest is maybe like give us a couple of dynamics, you know, like maybe do one line soft and then get large in the next line, you know, something like that. So la 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 la, like something like that. I don't know the lyrics, but yeah, you do something. Other than that, I think you did really well. But yes, please keep on singing. No matter what happens, I support you, and you should be proud of yourself.
Okay, Meriam, we have talked a bit, and I know you are going through a tough time in your life right now, and that probably explains why you haven't been top-notch lately. So you have my utmost sympathy for that. And I understand it's not easy to perform when you're under a lot of stress. Though for fairness to the other contestants in this competition, I must focus on your product first and foremost, and not on personal matters, which I hope you understand. And I'm sorry to say that I was disappointed again. I chose this song for you because I thought this would be the song that would force Meriam to bring out the superwoman again that you've been in the past. And it could have been. But first off, singing only a short part of the song felt like such a cop-out to me, especially since you had another week, and especially since it was the easiest part of the song. If you had given us the full song, you could have shown off your belting, your high notes and the grit, which I know you have, as well as the lighter, softer tone that's in the bridge, which you haven't given us a lot of good examples of. That is not to say you gave us none of that, which you absolutely did, but it was too little of it. This was like a sample. I don't want the sample, I want the full product. And it didn't help that you started pitchy, it's like you forgot how to do runs there. Apart from the intro though, what you did give us was actually pretty good. I can't really fault it that much. A definite improvement from last round. You came closer to your true talent. I just hoped you could have channeled your hardships into your performance instead of letting them take away from it. Now, I actually won't be voting in this episode, so if the other judges decide to bring it to the finale, please do a full song, and please pick something you can totally nail, because I believe in you so much. And I know that one day you will find back to your true talent, and I hope you will somehow be able to give it to us in your last chance in this competition. There have been many surprises in this show before, and I know that you, if anyone, can surprise.
Meriam, I'm happy to hear that you have your confidence back. I could tell that you were off your game the last couple episodes, but that is no longer. You are back on your game, and I really like what you did. Song choice wasn't my favorite. I don't know if it was Mark or Petri that picked it for you, but I think there was just too much dirt and not enough shower, as they say, meaning I love the grit and the growl in your voice, but there needs to be a counterbalance of softness, because when it's, I think you thought I was waiting for you, it gets to be a little too much. I mean, there needs to be just a little bit of a softness to balance it out, like, you know, the grit, the dirt, and the shower, the softness. So I'm going to blame that one on them, since one of them picked the song, but otherwise, I think you did a great job. I think you're back in the game. I think that you got your confidence back, and I'm very proud of you for that. So good job.
No, I done wrong, left your heart torn. Is that what devils do? Took you so long, where only fools go. I shook the angel in you. Now I'm rising from the ground, rising up toward you. Filled with all the strength I found, there's nothing I can do. Unforgivable, I stole and burnt your soul. Is that what demons do? Hey! They rule the worst of me, destroy everything. They take down angels like you. Now I'm rising from the ground, rising up to you. Filled with all the strength I found, there's nothing I can do.
It's been my dream to hear you sing this song because I knew you would do something like this. Not necessarily a screamo version, but I knew you were going to make it your own in a very cool way. Now, I still have some mixed feelings about this, because unless you are trained in heavy metal screaming, it's not going to take long before you damage your vocal cords. I suspect you are not, since we never heard heavy metal from you. And I know it's not actually heavy metal screaming, but it's rather close to. You are the one here who's the least afraid to exaggerate, and you made that abundantly clear here. But in your case, less is more. It might have sounded better without the screaming actually. But like I said, I have mixed feelings, because I also want to congratulate you for finding a way to make your song your own yet again. And I prefer a contestant who exaggerates rather than underperforms. Now it's about finding that perfect balance. Perhaps an emotional song would be the next step, because I have yet to be truly touched by anything you sing.
Sam, I am so disappointed you didn't do Saggy Bottom Boys' Man of Constant Sorrow. I mean, come on, I love that song. For one thing, the reason I picked it for you is because it's a little bit different than what you normally give us, and yet it's still Sam. You know, it's still something that you could have put your mark on and yet been a little bit different from what we normally hear from you, and I think it would have been kick-ass. I love that song. I think it's a really fun song. It's a cool song, and I think you really could have done a lot with that song, especially if you would have done it a cappella. You know, I think there's so much that you could have done with that song, and so I am bitter, but not bitter enough to say that you did a great job, and I still like it. Consistently, you have been very good throughout this competition. I don't think you've put a song forward that I haven't liked. So I guess, as they say in the art field, if it ain't Baroque, don't fix it.
Hello, Sam. How are you? Wow, that was quite a ride you just took us on. It was very emotional. It was very gritty. I can't deny it was dynamic for sure. For being a finale, this is definitely what I expected to hear from you when it comes to a finale song. But I do have some critiques for you. I don't know how well this is gonna go down, but when I think of songs and I listen to them and I listen to the lyrics, I analyze what emotion am I supposed to be feeling right now, and I think I didn't feel the correct one while listening to this. I wanted to feel like more sadness, maybe. Not that I didn't feel that agony, because you definitely put it in there, but it just didn't click as well as I thought it would click for me. With this kind of song especially, I think the song, because the chorus repeats a lot, it got a little bit boring to me towards the end, I'm not gonna lie, because when you have a song that repeats itself over and over and over again, like the same line, there's only so many times you can hear the same line where you're feeling like, okay, well, what else, you know? And I wish that you did something to just like spice it up, like every single time you had to say this section of the song, because I want to hear that kind of thing from you. It's something that most singers don't think outside of the box whenever they're covering stuff, even if the original didn't do it. Like, I wish more people would think about that, but yeah, that's a big pet peeve thing, and it just like, it got a little bit stale. I'm sick right now, but if I had to give an example, like, since you're saying, oh, love me again, like a lot, just like towards the end, just do something like, oh, do you love me again? Love me again? I don't know, something different, you know? Also, in regards to the genre of music you're doing, this is supposed to be like a melancholy ballad type of thing, and I will fully admit I am a huge fan of like screamo and J-rock and metal and all of those subgenres, and it works in some songs, but in this song I don't think it works. Like, I felt like you were screaming at me half of the time, and it wasn't very pleasing for me. It was a little bit off-putting. It just kind of made me like jump back a little bit every time you just screamed into the mic. And there's a way to make screaming and music sound melodic, but to me it just felt like you were just screaming. It wasn't even scream singing. It was more like you were screaming. And maybe that's something you have to work on, but and yeah, with time and practice, I know you can nail it. I definitely know you can nail it, Sam, but just this time it just didn't work for me. I'm so sorry. But aside from that, I do like the passion that you gave in this performance. So overall though, good job, man. That was cool. That was really cool.
Between the pages 2 and 3, the once and forever, gone with my sins. Walk the dark past sleep with angels, call the past for help. Touch me with your love and reveal to me my true name. Oh, how I wish for soothing rain. All I wish is to dream again. My loving heart lost in the dark. For hope I give my everything. Oh,
Aria. Finally, the Aria I've wanted to see all competition. There was emotion and there was a lot more passion than you've been bringing in the past performances, which is something that I have been begging you for, and you finally delivered. The voice is just so lovely. It's not flawless, as in certain places you got a little pitchy, but this was definitely your best for me in a long time, and I really, really liked it. And that's going to make judging the final that much tougher, because this, to me, was such a contender song for you. I mean, you did a fantastic job, and I don't know where we're going to go in the judging for this episode and who's going to make it to the finale, but with this particular performance, you know, you're not out of the running, so good job.
Hello, Aria. How are you? Wow. I just want to start off by saying this was one of the most beautiful surprises that I've heard in a finale before. Out of all the three, I think you took the biggest risks and you did the most with your song, and I think you should be credited for that, because opera is hard. Like, operatic voices, just like in general, like, it's a really hard skill to have. Hitting high notes especially, you were going pretty high, not gonna lie. I know I would have trouble hitting a couple of those notes myself. And I don't know if you have opera training, but even if you don't, you took a lot of risks, but I think you nailed it. In my opinion, I think you nailed it. I felt the emotion. I felt like I was hearing like this beautiful choir. I really like the little dips you did with your voice, you know, that forevermore. Like, oh yeah, that thing. Oh my god, I was like, yes, yes, queen, yeah. I am a sucker for a good harmony. And towards the end of your song, you were doing like these beautiful choral harmonies. And I was just like, yo, I was so excited, because harmonies is something I really live for. Like, legit, throw me a song with a bunch of pretty harmonies and I'll just melt like butter. It's, I live for that. So it was just, I could listen to this over and over again, honestly. It's so good. Yes, you do have to work on maintaining the control on your higher notes for sure. You tend to be a little bit wobbly towards the end of your sentences, but other than that, I think this was my favorite entry in the entire show for this season, and you should be very proud of yourself, Aria. This is a tall order of a song to do, but you are brave, you did it, you went for it, and I think you nailed it. So congratulations.
I have to really commend Mark for choosing this song for you. That was a stroke of genius, because you are really the only one here who could have pulled it off. Your operatic type of voice combined with the hard rock background is such a nice contrast. Apart from being slightly off key at times, especially at some of the long notes, I think you did a really good job. Actually, it's one of your best performances ever. For you to improve at this point, I would suggest trying to project even more. And don't be afraid to exaggerate. Since you tend to be low in energy, what feels like exaggerating to you would probably feel like just the right energy for the public. With such a sweet sing-songy voice, you have to work extra hard to stand out. You can't afford to be afraid to go all out, especially if you are to make it to the finale here. You are peaking at just the right time in the competition. Just continue to do your very best if you make it to the finale, and we might be in for an underdog win. Do not lose it now.
Thanks for watching. See you soon with the result. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe.